All right, so it's a little windy today. I apologize, but we had something dropped off today. So my buddy AJ went and retrieved the 67 MGB GT for us today. So here it is. Anytime you buy a car that you've only seen once, you're in for some good surprises, bad surprises. We're gonna close this all up. So far, no bad surprises. One little thing, we thought the spoke wheels were like just messed up chrome, and we have realized that at some point in their lives they've been painted white, but that's all right. So one of the funnest days of a car collector's life is when you get a new one and you get to do all the poking around and learning new things, especially if it's a model that you've never owned before. So you get to learn things like where the hood rod goes, but this isn't gonna be a huge deep dive into this today. Instead, what it's gonna be is, this is Channing. Say hey, Channing.
Hello.
How old are you, Channing?
11.
11. All right, so Channing and I, so his older brother Chance is probably going to build this car as a daily driver. So Chance is working on some college homework right now. Chance is going to wash it later to see what we've got, right? You got to wash it, figure out what you have. You got to vacuum it out, figure out what you have. But before you can vacuum it out, you got to get all the stuff out of it. So Channing and I are going to get all the stuff out of this, and then we'll attack it. All right, so the wind is bad again. The audio is gonna not be great, so I'm gonna try and hold this pretty close. But as I was mentioning, one of the first things I like to do is just completely clean out the car and then vacuum the car. Haven't vacuumed it yet, but I like to just take everything and kind of pile it up. Because, you know, lots of pieces are obvious, right? Door mirrors, and then something obviously car, but I have no idea. Never seen this. It's aluminum, or since it's British, it's aluminium. But I don't know what they are, but I know they're just something. And then there's other things that's like, I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna keep it anyway. And then there's things that obviously aren't from this car that I will, so once I get everything out, I like to sort it out, inventory it, and decide whether or not I'm going to keep something or not. Even something that's bowed, like this back hatch cover area, I keep them because it's crucial to be able to take measurements to cut. I mean, all it is plywood, right? But I need to know each of these little, you know, nooks and crannies, little jogs, zigs and zags. I need to know where the hinges go as I rebuild this, so I can't do that if I just chunk it, right? So I like to keep everything. Obviously, we've got some pretty cool vintage, correct, I'm guessing, windshield wiper blades. This obviously used to hold down the spare tire. Again, I have no idea what these two things are. I'm not an MG guy. I've only ever worked on one in my life, and I was Channing's age. And then you've got your can of smalls, and obviously that's the license plate bracket there.
And then we got the joke.
Yeah, Channing likes the sign. What's the sign say, Channing?
MG parking only.
What else does it say?
All others will be towed.
City Ordinance 95371. So that'll be going up in the garage. But so the next step is going to be to just vacuum everything out. And but I can tell you right away, yes, it's got some rust up in here, right? That's not great, but the structure of the car is just fantastic. Floors don't appear to be rotted at all. Let me see if I can show you guys up underneath it. I have not spent much time looking up underneath it, but wheel wells, solid. Obviously these Goodyears have seen better days. Pretty cool knockoffs. But let's see, we got a little bit of got a little bit of bubblage right here. Other than that, man, this thing, even the jack point, super solid. I'm super stoked. That is the flattest muffler I've ever seen, but seeing how close it is to the ground, it's understandable why it's super flat. All right, let me go take a look at the other side. Then we're gonna attack this thing with a vacuum. Did get the hood open. So this car has sat up in the mountains in Alto, New Mexico for a long time. I don't honestly know how long, but a long time. And you can tell by the pine needles. I'm having flashbacks to my 1970 Westphalia that sat in the mountains for 25 years. And as long as I owned that thing, I still was pulling out pine needles. Back in here, again, no rust. It looks like original undercoating. Obviously some rust right here. Take a look up under the rest of this side. Oh no, structurally this thing's amazing. A little bit greasy, grimy up in there along the transmission. And so it's so nice now that we own it. Now we can start digging into it. So I'm gonna put you guys on pause. I'm working on this while waiting on a work phone call, so we're gonna call it here. I'm gonna turn on the vacuum and so that I won't hear my boss call. That'll be great. It'll be wonderful. Superb. All right, so I'm gonna vacuum it out and we'll check in a little bit. Right, so we have vacuumed out the car, and even though this car was sold to us as not running, went ahead and just checked the oil. It was supposedly ran last summer, and the battery doesn't look bad. We're assuming it's dead, so chances hooking up a battery to jump it. And I checked the oil just to make sure that we're not going to damage anything. It's got oil in it. There's Raptor Roach. What did I do? This is what I doed. Yes. So we're going to give the engine a run here in a sec. We're going to give this a shot. Make sure to push the clutch in, not run over me, even though we're chalked. Let's see if she turns over. And if not, fuel pump. You hear it? What was that? Oh, that was you pushing in the clutch. Yeah. All right. Dun da da dun dun dun. Do 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 do. There's only 3 keys possible. Ready? She's turning. Do it.
All right, should I give it a pump?
Yeah. One more time. Yep. All right, she ain't going today, but we need to throw the good battery on the charger. Whoa, she is bleeding fuel all out of the carburetor is what she's doing. After you stopped, it just burped all over. All right, so.
I gave it the one pump.
Yeah, no, the fuel pump is obviously working. So I will quit narrating this video that I'm shooting, and but anytime, yeah, we did not grab the fire extinguisher, but that's okay. We're not hot. But we now know that she turns over, and we just have some figuring out of some fuel system, and then we'll check for spark and whatnot when we do a full-fledged will it run. But you got to give it a shot. All right, so now we're gonna wash it down. All right, so this thing's getting its first non-cloud driven wash in a long time.
So here's the real test. You can tell how well something's gonna buff out by how water looks on it, because it takes out all the microscopic little bits. So in theory, we buff it out, that's what we're gonna get.
Yeah, less pink, more rose.
I actually like.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. So as we're spraying it out, things like down in here, this was just all caked in dirt, but yeah, this thing's gonna look pretty cool. So while we're just entertaining you by spraying off a 60-year-old car in the driveway, so the dude who was just over here, named Austin, he's on Instagram, Raptor Roach. That is his Raptor Roach, and yeah, good dude, F-16 pilot. So go give him a look on Instagram, and again, it's Raptor Roach, and you'll see some pretty cool aviation photos and some killer four-wheeling videos. So yes, that's a $100,000+ Raptor, but he beats the living daylights out of it up in the mountains and out in the dunes around here in southern New Mexico. So yeah. All right, Chance, we got to see what this side's gonna look like. This is the dirty side. Chance is fighting hose kinks.
Yeah.
Or the kinks.
All right.
If there's a band that screams this car, it's the Kinks.
I was thinking more of the Doors.
But no, they weren't British.
Are they not?
No, it's California, man. LA woman. Yeah. Cleaning up well already. Okay. See, this is what memories are made of. You remember that time we brought home that MGB GT?
Alexander drove away in the car?
Yeah. All right, engine bay time. We got to get all this gunk cleaned out. Then I'm gonna go get some Neverdol and we're gonna see what the bumpers are gonna look like. Best part of the car, any car that's got chrome bumpers, the bumpers are automatically the best part of the car.
Right?
Yeah, just stay away from the carburetors.
Alright.
Just trying to get up in the flat spots, get the dirt. There you go. Look at that. Exposing the red. And they've got good air cleaners on them. It's not like you're going to push it down the carburetor. All right, Chance, what are we using here?
Some Jay Leno's Garage interior detailing.
Christmas 2022.
Yeah.
So obviously these seats are a little bit toasty, crispy, but that's okay. We're gonna salvage what we can so that we can see if they can be stitched back together with original fabric. I've already wiped down the driver and passenger. These ones just sat and baked in the sun. It is very interesting how the backrest is in better shape on the front side than the seat, than the bottom piece, because clearly it was stored with it folded down. So the back caught all the sun. That's why that one is in much better shape. All right, we'll let that one sit and soak. You want to grab these ones I've already de-dirted. Can't really beat these for condition. I mean, the driver's seat, we're going to have to obviously do some stitching up top there. I love the red piping.
Yeah.
Carpets are obviously shot and sun-baked. As I was vacuuming out the car, I was vacuuming all of the particles down to the under layers of the carpet, and it was just coming up from sun bakage. But you just push forward.
Oh, cool.
Dash, I mean, the dash pad is cracked up obviously, but the dash itself is in really good shape.
Well, I found out on Moss, the same people I got all my Miata parts
Right,
that do
right.
just stuff for roadsters.
Yeah.
$109 for just this top
Okay.
piece.
We can do that.
Yeah. Which for
It looks
something
like I
that,
probably should have vacuumed up here.
for something like that, worth it.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the dash is salvageable.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you can see how it's just soaking it in.
Yeah. It tries to run and then it just runs out of oomph. You want me to grab the part that you can't see? And now for the back. There you go. I'll spray you in the face. So I'm so easily distracted. I love, these are almost nautical. I love the little map light and these knobs increase.
Right.
Hot, warm. Let me guess, that says decrease?
This is nothing.
Oh, okay.
That's probably off. Or I would expect.
Yeah. That's a very large single din size for back then, and yet it has not been cut. That's original. That radio spot. Definitely gonna need to add a vintage sound head unit. Or whatever you should choose, but
I've found brands that do vintage looking head units that at least have Bluetooth.
yeah, that's, yeah, when I say vintage sound, that's
Right.
that's the company I'm talking. Lots of other Chinese versions, but
As long,
it's got an aux cord and Bluetooth.
right. I'm not gonna even worry about audio until other stuff is gonna be done, like alternator,
Oh yeah.
you know.
Well, let's check and see what it's got on it.
Got a generator.
Oh, it does have a generator.
Yeah.
All right,
Look at
shall
that.
we do some rinse down of the outside? Close the doors up. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, we did just surprise ourselves and this thing fired off after not doing it last night and pissing fuel. And it does look like there is a little bit of a fuel leak from somewhere, but go ahead, Chance. One more. One more. Give it a couple pumps.
Couple?
Yeah.
1, 2.
Couple, 3, yeah. Good, fire it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a running engine.